Hello everyone, welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Before we get to the video, I'd like to thank you all for your support and remind you that we're doing a jersey giveaway when we hit 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers is our goal to reach by the end of this month, so make sure you subscribe, stay subscribed, follow me on Twitter at MLS Moves for the latest updates on the giveaway. Now, on to the video. Week 8 was another great week for MLS with some great games, and we're going to start off talking about Inter Miami and Sporting Kansas City. Now, this game was at Arrowhead Stadium, which is where the Kansas City Chiefs play, and there were 72,000 people at the match, including Patrick Mahomes and his wife. This was a very hot ticket, and the atmosphere did not disappoint. This game was insane. In my opinion, Messi had his best game for Miami this season, without a doubt. This was a vintage Messi game. He had a goal, which was an absolute banger. I mean, this goal had everybody on their feet screaming. He had an unbelievable assist to Diego Gomez. We got a retro Messi game, and he did not disappoint, especially with everyone in attendance in a crazy atmosphere. He lived up to the hype. Then, we got to talk about Diego Gomez. Diego Gomez has been arguably the best player outside of Luis Suarez for Inter Miami this season. We need to have a serious talk. I'm starting to believe that Diego Gomez could possibly be sold for more than Thiago Almada from Atlanta United. I'm really starting to believe that. We're talking about a dude who's 2 years younger, who absolutely shined for the U20s for Paraguay. And when he came back to MLS after struggling last year in his first year with Inter Miami, he has absolutely killed it this year. I mean, he has looked great. I think that he's not going to be in MLS for much longer. He is looking very good. And to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if he sells for $20 to $25 million. Who knows? He's been playing lights out. And when you play around guys like Messi and Suarez and Busquets and Alba, and you look this good, it only makes the value go up. It makes you look better being surrounded with these kind of guys and to be shining like that. So I think he's going to end up selling for quite a decent fee. And then, Drake Callender, I still think he's a liability. This guy does not look nearly as good as he did in the 2023 Leagues Cup. He's still struggling. He has his moments of brilliance, and he looks good sometimes, but he can never consistently play well, in my opinion, especially with a shaky back line, some holes in the center back position, and consistency. You need to have your goalkeeper be more consistent and come through. I just think that there's way too many blunders by him, and I would not be surprised if Miami is in the market for a goalkeeper, backup goalkeeper at least, to try to push him. And, looks like Miami should have sold him after Leagues Cup when his price was at an all-time high. Suarez cannot stop scoring. I mean, this guy's in prime position to win the Golden Boot in 2024. He's got 6 goals this year. Age is not catching up with him. Even with the knee pain, he's still pulling through. Guys consistently balling out for Inter Miami, playing as much as he can, not really missing any games. He's been a pleasant surprise for them. And, like I've said numerous times, he's got to be up there in the top 2, top 3 for the MVP race so far. And going to Sporting KC more specifically, it's nice to see, even though with someone like Messi coming to town, that the people showed up at this game, 72,000 strong. What a great crowd. Eric Tommy had a great game. Had a brace, looked like the best player on the pitch for Sporting Kansas City. Obviously Polito didn't really do much in this game. Been inconsistent a lot of times, if not injured, at Sporting Kansas City throughout his tenure. They need to add some pieces this summer to try to help give this team a push, because they have been competitive, but they just need a little bit more. Tim Melia, I can't believe this guy's still starting. He has been inconsistent for years now. He is a shell of himself from his 2016 season. I just don't see how he's still playing at 38 years old. I know goalkeepers obviously age better than any other position in soccer, but Tim Melia is a liability at this point. I don't see how he's still playing. It'll be interesting to see if they move off him quickly, maybe even after the season or during the season. Now, getting to the Vancouver Whitecaps at LA Galaxy, this was another great game. LA Galaxy ended up winning 3-1. Vancouver Whitecaps have had a great season. Vancouver Whitecaps manager Vanni Sartini has had the Whitecaps playing unbelievable since he took over in 2021. He's got this team fighting, believing, overperforming, and when they're playing a team, they have a chance in every match. They were number 1 in the West before this match. And, when you watch this game, you saw Brian White, a very underrated striker in MLS. Brian White had several opportunities to score in the game, was close, But in the second half, he was able to finally score after threatening all game long. Brian White is a player you guys need to watch out for if you're not familiar with who he is. He is a goal-scoring demon. He is one of the most underrated players in MLS. Very fun player to watch. Joseph Paintsel had his way with the Whitecaps. He's been having his way all season long, except in El Tráfico last week. He was very disappointing, honestly. It was the worst game of his LA Galaxy career, but he bounced back strong this week, was all over the field, creating chances, looked good, had a goal, had an assist. He's looking good. He looks like a great player that the LA Galaxy were very fortunate to get from Genk. I like him. He's in prime position to be in contention for that Newcomer of the Year award. Joveljic was able to find the back of the net, so he's got 6 goals this year. He's another player that's in that Golden Boot race, really threatening. I'm very high on what he's doing this year. A player that has been inconsistent in the past, but it looks like with the service he has, everything around him, he is starting to put it together. Looks like he's playing consistently. I'm very curious to see what he ends up finishing the season with goal total-wise. And then Riqui Puig. Riqui Puig is the best passer, has the best vision of any midfielder, maybe even any player in Major League Soccer. Yeah, Riqui Puig this guy's got pinpoint passes, threading the needle. That pass he had to Joseph Paintsel on the goal was absolutely insane. That is not a pass you see in MLS very often. You don't see that pass. This guy's an anticipation passer. It's a sight to see. It's beautiful. It's very enjoyable to watch. Riqui Puig is one of my favorite players to watch in MLS, and if you watch this game, you can see why. The ball lives and dies with Riqui Puig. Everything goes through him on this team. He is their most important player, and it's not even close. And then we had DC United in Orlando City. This was another great game where it looked like DC United was in contention or looking likely to win. Christian Benteke, the Belgian striker, has been having a sneaky good season. A lot of people aren't really talking about what he's done. He's in contention also for the Golden Boot race, having 6 goals for DC United this year. He can't seem to stop scoring. And DC United's a team with the hiring of Troy Lessin, they're playing very well, and they look like they're contention to finally make the playoffs after a couple-year drought. I think that this team is a force to be reckoned with, even though they did lose this match. This is a team that has been much improved. Click has been playing good as well. Pirani has been looking really good for DC United. This is a club that I think that people need to keep an eye on. They look like they are most likely going to make the playoffs this year, and Christian Benteke, who knows? He might win the Golden Boot, even though throughout his career, he's not really known for being a consistent goal scorer. In MLS, he's been pretty consistent, and he's having his best season of his career at 33 years old. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then Orlando City is starting to look pretty good as well. They're starting to actually find some form, being able to be down 2-1. In weeks past, you would have thought, okay, this is another loss, chalk it up. They're not coming back. Oscar Pereira is not leading this team back to a win, but they did. They came back and won. Nico Ladero had also an incredible pass. I hope you guys watch this. This incredible pass he had to Duncan Maguire on a needle. Honestly, I had to make sure that it wasn't offside because of how far ahead Duncan Maguire had gotten. I was like, there's no way this is onside, but it was. He absolutely threaded a needle, and then Duncan Maguire finished. Duncan Maguire will not be in MLS much longer. This guy is going to definitely be in Europe. He's going to tear it up. It's going to continue the streak of great strikers who have come through Orlando City and moved on to Europe, like Kyle Larin and Daryl DK, and he's going to join that list, and it's going to be exciting to see what he does. This was another great game by 2 good teams. Orlando City looks like they're finally starting to pick it up. Be interesting to see what happens and if they're able to continue doing this or able to keep it up. Some other scores we had the Portland Timbers and LAFC in the draw 2-2. Then we had New York City FC beat New England Revolution 2-0. New England Revolution are still struggling. Bruce Arena curse still lives on. New York City FC gets a much-needed win to kind of ease the tension on Nick Cushing's hot seat. The Red Bulls and the Chicago Fire ended in a draw 0-0. Montreal was able to beat Cincinnati 2-1. Charlotte FC beats Toronto FC 3-2. Toronto FC desperately missing Lorenzo Insigne. This team has not been the same since he went out with an injury. FC Dallas and Seattle end in a 0-0 draw. Seattle Sounders go back to their non-scoring ways. Houston Dynamo beat Minnesota United 2-1. RSL and Columbus Crew end in a 0-0 draw. Colorado Rapids beat San Jose Earthquakes 3-0. And then on Sunday, we had a 2-2 draw with Atlanta United and the Philadelphia Union. And then lastly, we had St. Louis City SC beat Austin FC 1-0 after Austin FC had went on their first winning streak since the 2022 season. Let me know in the comment section, what was your biggest takeaway from Week 8 in MLS? What was your favorite game? What was the goal of the week? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you like this video. Hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Subscribe to the channel. Stay subscribed. And don't forget, we're doing a jersey giveaway once we hit 3,000 subscribers. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at MLSFoves so you get the latest updates on the giveaway. And until next time, I will see you all soon.